Yeah, no, I agree. In my head, I just now was thinking of, on, is it Family Guy, where the weather guy, Ollie?
Oh, God.
Ollie, how's the weather? It's raining. Okay, thank you, Ollie.
Yeah.
I feel like we could do something like that. Austin, how'd the market do? It went up. Thanks, Austin. All right, well, welcome
Sweet.
to episode 21 of ScottCast, the podcast. I'm now part of the GSD network. Am I right, Vin? Part of the GSD network. If you don't know what that means, look me up on LinkedIn. That's gotten me into a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
Anywho, here we are in the Hana Media Studios, and we're joined by Ashley, of course, Vin, behind and in front of the camera somehow, and our newest guest, Austin Braun, who's...
We got Austin on.
Austin has no choice but to participate. We made him.
Yep.
We gave him a couple of beers, so he's good.
Couple beers.
Yep, it's all good.
First time.
First time.
There's
all good.
some jokes I'd like to
Yeah,
make,
we're
but
not gonna-
they're very inappropriate, so
Please
we'll
don't.
stay away from that.
We're not doing that.
Yeah, we'll definitely get censored out. So, anywho, how are you?
I'm doing well, and I'm really digging that you brought your Jeep in today.
Yeah, well, I mean, Vin opened the door,
Just-
so in I came.
So just rolled right in.
Yeah, there's live footage of that, right, Vin? We can show the people at home. They'll be very excited to
This
see.
is exactly how Scott arrived
That's
today.
how I arrived. The helicopter was broken today.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. So, as I was mentioning to you before, what I really wanted to talk a little bit about today was the COVID mindset, for lack of a better way. We're all in this COVID funk, whether we actually have COVID or we don't have COVID. My wife had a scare. She tested negative this morning, but she's good.
Oh, good.
So she's good. But, we've all been pent up for a long time, right? We're in our homes.
Yep.
We're going to work, and then we're going home. Then we're going to work, and then we're going home. If you don't do some stuff between work and home, you can get really crabby, I've noticed.
I agree.
Yeah. I caught myself last night being a bit of a crab to a couple of people because I was just running out of patience. It was kind of a you kids get off my lawn kind of moment I was having
Some
there.
old man moment.
I was having a serious old man grumpy thing.
Grumpy old man.
Oh, I was. And it was kind of fun. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a little bit. But I did catch myself. And then I started thinking, that I was talking to a person at the home office in St. Petersburg, and I was saying, I've noticed it with clients too. They've got a lot of time. They're kind of irritated. They're looking at a statement, or they're looking at the market, or heaven forbid, they're watching the news about the election, right?
Could be a whole other conversation.
Woo! Look out. Apparently people get worked up about this stuff. I don't know if you know that.
See what happens in a week.
Yeah. This election thing, apparently it's important, Vin.
Stresses people out.
Yeah, very upsetting. Very upsetting. But with that understood, my point today was to say, listen, take a deep breath. It's all 6 months from now, we're all going to hopefully laugh about all this. And hopefully there'll be a vaccine or a treatment or whatever. Something's coming. It's probably, to quote, not right around the corner, but it's probably around a corner at some point, right? So patience, don't let yourself get all worked up about things that are, I'm not going to say they're not important, but I am going to say it isn't going to do you any good to get annoyed with
No.
yourself and with other people.
No, I mean, that's obviously that energy could be taken elsewhere. But I
Yeah.
don't know. I feel like I don't feel like it's too irritable from being pent up because I also feel like Florida, obviously, we get very lucky with. I was just talking to Austin about this before.
Yeah.
You know, like being up north, and Vin knows, like, especially this time.
Yeah.
You know, this is like last hurrah for people up north, and then when they're pent up in the winter, to prove your point.
Yeah.
People are miserable.
Yeah,
right?
grumpy.
And then anything they can find to just complain about and get a little irritated about, you know. But I feel like in Florida, we're outside. We enjoy this 90-degree weather on Halloween weekend.
So there's that.
So I don't feel as, you know, I guess pent up.
Yeah, no, I get it. I agree. We are fortunate. We do have sunlight to shine upon us and go out and enjoy. But at the same time, we are a little restricted. Maybe it's just the restricted. We can't do exactly what we want to do.
Yes.
Is that a fair statement? Yeah. And I think what comes from that is frustration. And sometimes, believe it or not, people vent their frustrations in
on
ways.
Other people?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've heard. So I guess my point today is whether it's investing or politics or whatever it is, maybe, just maybe, take a deep breath on all that stuff. Yeah?
I agree. Yes. Take a deep breath, take a little step back, and realize life is pretty good.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
I would say, Austin, would you agree? So just for everybody who's watching this, I had to hog tie Austin to get him to sit in that chair.
We did.
And actually participate.
No,
it's absolutely true.
Hey, Austin, tell us about yourself, will you?
First of all, thank you for having me today. I do agree, and I'm guilty as charged. I personally got upset with the pool guy because they were leaving. I showed you a picture.
Yeah.
They were leaving acorns in my lawn.
Acorns.
Acorns.
Which sounds
this
funny,
grumpy
but
old man with his acorns in the
Ashley,
yard.
Acorns in the yard.
but
That's
5
crazy.
feet from the trash can.
Comes
and
from a tree?
I'm guilty as charged personally.
Yeah.
But with that being said, Michelle and I just adopted a dog.
Aww.
And we've been getting out and walking it and taking a trip around the block to try to. We haven't been on a trip either.
Yeah.
6 to 8
well,
months.
you lost out on your honeymoon.
That's right. Yeah, we were going to go to Italy.
They were supposed to go to
Didn't
Italy.
happen. That was canceled.
Yeah.
So for us,
Italy will
It'll
be open
happen.
later.
they will.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Yeah.
next year, maybe 2022.
Probably get a better deal, too.
Maybe you could go to Epcot. Don't they have
Yeah.
a Italy
Yeah,
thing?
go to Epcot.
There.
Have a
yeah.
little
Is that a thing? Yeah. I'm sure
But,
Michelle will be fine with
Yeah.
that.
She would be fine.
Hey,
with
Yeah.
babe, change of plans.
She would be fine with that. But guilty as charged. And for us, it's just been getting outside and taking a walk because, like most people, we haven't done anything in the last 8 months.
All right. Let me ask this. So, for those who don't know, but I don't think there's anybody going to watch this video. Our people that watch these videos, Austin is been with us how long?
6 years. in March.
Six
Yeah.
years. And is an MBA, CFP. He's got all kinds of acronyms on his card. I don't even know what half of them mean. He's a smart dude. Are you noticing any trends with people in your interactions with them on their investments or their approach? Let me ask you this: with the election coming, what are you seeing, and what do you think the best course of action is when people get a little excited about their team or the other team getting
good
into the
question.
lead there?
My answer is do nothing, specifically because there's so much uncertainty, right? So when you have so much uncertainty, it could go one way or the other. No one really knows.
Right.
Based on the last election. Everything I read, everything I see, in my personal opinion, is do nothing right now. Sit tight, wait this out. It's going to be okay.
Yeah. Even
And
if
we'll
there's
see what happens.
even if there's an intermediate interruption of sorts, whatever outcome, I personally believe whatever the outcome is, there's going to be some disruption
Sure.
just because
And there usually is.
half the people are not going to be happy.
Sure.
So there's that. But I think if you look 6 months from now or a year from now,
Exactly.
especially with a COVID, maybe a situation where COVID is kind of handled at least to some degree, I think that's the largest contributing factor.
Agreed.
But with that said, we've also taken some steps with a lot of people and talk about the dynamic nature of our portfolios and how it's not a matter of reacting to something. It's not a matter of, well, we think this is going to happen, so we're going to do this. Talk about some of the things we do on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, and that's what we get paid to do, right? So for the better part of the last 2 to 3 years, we've been becoming more defensive with the portfolios. And since, call it, late 2019, most of our income clients are holding pretty substantial cash. And on a regular basis, we're pouring over the portfolios, looking for opportunities. We made some changes earlier this year. And depending on how the election plays out, we would do the same again. So
Cool.
we're constantly watching.
Yeah.
I have a question. Do
Yeah.
you feel like, because now, right, you've only been in one other election, and Scott, you've been in maybe what, 2?
Yeah, 2.
2,
Yeah.
right?
Nobody remembers Ronald Reagan. That was my
Yeah.
first vote.
Do you feel like it's gotten a little bit more chaotic every election? And since maybe the last one, COVID aside,
Yeah. I don't know that it's, it's funny. Somebody said, well, each election that I've been through, each successive election I've been a part of, people always say, well, it's different this time,
It's
right?
always different.
It's different. It's more ramped up. People are meaner. People are vicious. Listen,
Yeah.
that's not true. I just read the autobiography recently of Aaron Burr. For those of you who don't remember Aaron Burr.
Oh, we know Aaron
All the
Burr.
Hamilton people
Aaron
know Aaron
Hamilton.
Burr, right? So Aaron Burr shot Alexander Hamilton. Well, part of the reason that came to pass was that anger was accumulating over years from political skirmishes they had. And I won't tell you what Alexander Hamilton insinuated about Aaron Burr, but it was not nice. And the difference is back in the late 1700s was if you insulted someone, it took 3 weeks by horseback for them to be pissed off. Right? Now it's instantaneous, and then people are piling on, right?
fresh.
So you had to wait for the pony to show up to say, you know what he thinks of you. And then, well, you tell him, and then back the pony went, right? It hasn't gotten any more mean. It's just more volume. There's just more noise. So I don't think it's changed at all. The dynamic that's changed is we can all swim in it all day long if we choose to, which I do not, by the way. Is that a fair way to put it?
Agreed.
Vinny?
seems like the healthier option.
Vinny agrees. Yeah. So, I mean, essentially, that's really the talk today. The talk today is, look, you're going to get statements. I mean, what'd the market do today? That's probably something I should know.
I know. I looked at. Was it because I looked at it yesterday?
Up 32,
and it was
33%. Fantastic.
red.
Mark it up.
Mark it up today. So
Mark
mark
it
it
up.
down
Cool.
yesterday.
Yep.
it
It
down.
was down.
Odd, up and down. Who knew?
All over the place.
I suspect the near term, and I mean probably between the beginning of November, which is in a day or two, to maybe the end of the year or even through January, I would expect things to be bouncy. I would expect turbulence, but I would not get out of your seat. There's literally less than 10% of 10-year periods where if you held fast to the S&P 500, you didn't make money. There are almost no 20-year periods where if you held fast, you wouldn't make money, right? So if you bet against time, you're making a bad bet.
Yep.
Austin?
Agreed.
All right. Vinny? Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Ash?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
We're all in.
all
We're
right.
all
I guess
in.
we're
I wish
all
I
in.
had my
I don't-
visualization
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I don't
Just-
have it, but
you have to
I
let it
totally
ride.
agree.
Yeah.
100%.
Have to let it ride.
Thumbs up. All right.
Time
so
and patience.
there you go. So
Yes.
the message for today, ScottCast, the podcast number 21, is be patient, be nice to each other. That's a thing, right?
Yep.
Can you say that on an investment podcast?
Yeah, be
Is investing
kind.
nice?
It is nice.
I think you
like.
can be nice.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, be nice. Be nice to one another. Whoever wins, let's get behind that idea as best we can, and hope for the best for that person, right? Because we're all in this together. Yeah.
One team, one dream.
There
yeah.
we go. Red, white, and blue, baby. All right. Podcast number 21 in the books. So investment burpee, a quick investment burpee. Down, up, right? And it might be, if you don't do anything else this week, do this one thing. Check your positions, check your allocation. Make sure you have an estate plan. Just jot down some trustee information for your kids. Check your social security statement. It's not hard. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's your investment burpee. Boom.
Anything
Yeah.
to do progress.
Just do this one thing this week.